Hey, everybody! I'm Doodle. My friends call me Dude. Drawing awesome stuff is what I do best. Today's lesson is on drawing the human figure. We'll study the skeleton, proportion, muscle structures, and sketch both the male and female anatomy.
We'll also go to the museum to see the incredible figures painted by the Italian master Michelangelo and learn the terms contour and sketching.
So come on, let's get creative! Drawing the figure takes a lot of close observation and practice. So let's study the correct proportions so everything will have the right size relationships.
If you take the size of the head, you should be able to map out the rest of the body.
Well, people don't have that many heads.
No stretch. We just use the size of the head for measuring, like this. The first chin is, of course, at the chin level. The second chin falls right at mid-chest. The third is on the navel. The fourth is where the legs come together. And the fifth falls at mid-thigh. The sixth is on the knees. The seventh at the ankles. And the last half falls on the ground level.
Also, notice that the elbow should be level with the belly button, and the fingers should end up at mid-thigh level.
Now here's another good rule of measurement. The distance from the shoulder to the elbow is equal to the distance from the elbow to the wrist.
And the distance from the hip to the knee is the same as the distance from the knee to the ankle.
All of these little tricks make it easier to keep your figures in the correct proportion. It's important to know that the muscles, skin, and tissues are all attached to the frame or skeleton. It's very important to study the skeleton. It's what holds our bodies together. Without it, we'd all be mushy and stuff.
Bones are made of calcium and are very hard. Sometimes you can see the form of bones through the skin, like the rib cage, elbows, knees, and of course the fingers.
I think it would help if we all do a drawing of the skeleton. Remember your proportion. Let's start with the skull. It's a round shape with the jaw attached underneath. The spine, or backbone, is really several bones called vertebrae that stretch all the way down to the hip line. That's 4 heads down, remember?
The rib cage is a large structure of curved bones that protect the heart and lungs. The ribs come together in the front of the body and form the sternum or breastbone.
The hip bone is at the waist. It has a strange shape. Just draw the basic structure for now. It looks like this.
Let's add the arms and legs. The arm is made up of 2 basic sections. The upper part is called the humerus. It ends at the elbow. The lower section, which is equal in length to the upper, has 2 bones, the radius and the ulna. These make up the forearms.
The wrist is at the end of the forearm and has several small bones that help it to bend and twist.
That's a lot to practice. Maybe we should work on the hands more later.
Oh, I agree, Dabney. Now, let's move on to the legs. The legs begin at the hip. The largest bone in the human body is the femur, or thigh bone. It ends at the kneecap, which is a small rounded bone held on the knee joint by tendons. Well, you can see tendons, especially from the back of the leg. The lower leg is made up of 2 bones, similar to the forearm. These bones are the tibia and fibula. They're equal in length to the femur. See?
Doodle, you're so good. Your drawing is amazing.
Thanks, Dabney. It's good to see that all my practice really pays off. Well, that's enough of the skeleton. On to the meat of the show, the muscles. The human body is a beautiful machine. The skeleton works with the muscles in order to move the body. Muscles are attached to the bones by strands of fiber called ligaments.
Yuck, that looks kind of gross.
Oh, Stretch, it's not gross. It's really interesting.
The muscle is really a bunch of fibers that contract and relax, thus moving the bones in the arms, legs, and so on. It's very important to exercise so your muscles will be strong and healthy. The muscle groups on the chest, laying on top of the rib cage, form two large areas that, well, look like this. Directly under the rib cage, the stomach has two sets of four smaller muscles called the abdominals, and they look like bumps on the tummy. The arms start at the shoulders, and the chest muscles actually form part of that area as well. The shoulder muscles attach to the humerus at this point. The biceps are the main arm muscles, and on the back of the arm is a group called the triceps and form kind of a horseshoe shape.
The legs start at the hips, and the main muscle groups are attached to the femur. Three muscles form the thigh and look like big teardrops. See?
The lower leg has one main group on the back of the leg here. It's called the calf muscle and has a very round shape.
The shape of a woman's body is generally more slender than a man's. Although females all have the same muscle groups as males, they're not as pronounced. Practice drawing both men and women of all ages. Let's go to a school and do some figure drawings. Kids are fun to draw. Hey, the girl that's running would be a great study.
When you start your drawing, do a quick sketch or gesture. That will give you the feel of the figure. If they're running or walking, you can show the motion in the sketch before you add a lot of detail. Try to build the figure onto the skeleton. Find the rib cage, pelvis, and major bones, then flesh out the muscles and details. Let's watch an artist do a quick sketch of this little girl. Look how he follows the contour of her feet and dress. Notice that he doesn't add any details. He's just drawing the form and structure.
When figure drawing, look for the outline or contour of shapes.
Look how he uses guidelines. He draws them very lightly. These help to keep the drawing in the right perspective.
Notice how the artist started with simple shapes.
That was fast!
Let's go to the museum and see an incredible mural painted by the master artist Michelangelo. Michelangelo Buonarroti was born on March 6, 1475 in Italy. He studied painting and sculpture at a very young age and produced incredible work for such a young boy. At the age of 23, Michelangelo created the La Pieta, said to be the most perfect marble sculpture ever made. He achieved great fame with his larger-than-life sculpture of David and went on to paint his masterpiece, The Last Judgment, on the walls of the Sistine Chapel. His knowledge of the human figure was unmatched in both sculpture and paint. As a sculptor, architect, painter, and poet, Michelangelo's influence on art in general can still be seen today.
It's time for Learn the Lingo!
The words for today are contour and sketching. Contour, the outline or edge of a shape. Sketching, a style of drawing that's quick, loose, and has little detail. That's it for the lingo. Back to you, Doodle.
We are proud to present the Doodle Kids Gallery. This excellent figure sketch is from 12-year-old Caitlin Brooks from Tucson, Arizona. Look at the contours and the interesting pose. Great job, Caitlin! What an interesting show! We've studied the proportions, skeleton, muscle groups.
Saw the awesome work of Michelangelo and learned the words contour and sketching.
Now, don't forget, practice, practice, practice. See you next time, kids. Goodbye. Hey, kids, be sure to check us out at our new website, www.doodlestudio.com. Come watch what I can do, because then I'm gonna teach you too.
Doodle!
When working in perspective, you gotta keep it neat so things will look perfect when you're looking down the street. And if you love to paint, then Dabney is your girl.
Squirt them red, blue, and yellow, then give them all a swirl.
Hey Doodle! Hey Doodle!
The museum's such a blast. See the artist of the past.
Hey Doodle! Hey Doodle! Teach us how to draw today!
If you like drawing people, then you can make some money by painting them realistically or drawing really funny. But if you mess